Each week, DC News Now is speaking with doctors around our area about health issues impacting all of us. That's our segment called What's Going Around.
And DC News Now's anchor Chris Flanagan spoke with Dr. Yolandra Hannock, a Prince George's County pediatrician, on why this extreme heat affects children differently than adults.
Heat in particular is very dangerous for children as we're experiencing these extreme heat waves. Children first cannot release heat in the same way that grown-ups do. We always have this notion that children are little adults, and they are not. Their bodies are completely different. Children have a different set point in terms of when they start to sweat. It takes longer for children to sweat, which is our body's way of cooling off. Takes longer for them to sweat than it does adults. Children's bodies are composed of more water than adults, and so in order for them to be able to bring their temperatures down, it takes a lot more energy.
Dr. Hancock, we hear so much about heat exhaustion and heat stroke. What is the difference, and what are some of the warning signs?
Very good question. That's one of the most important things to recognize is the risk of what we call heat stroke. And there are different stages of it. The first stage is what we call heat cramps. You're out in heat or humidity, your body starts to cramp up, your muscles start to get tight. Little ones may not be able to recognize it as a cramp. They may say that their legs or their arms hurt. And so if that's the case and you know that they're in the heat, it's likely that they're moving towards what we call heat exhaustion. Heat exhaustion is when the temperature of the body continues to rise and our bodies aren't able to bring it down on its own. Little ones and adults may start to get confused, they may get dizzy, they will feel lightheaded, they may actually get chills, which is odd, especially in the face of heat. But if someone is complaining of chills or is having shivers while they are outdoors, that is a very significant sign that they are experiencing heat exhaustion and are at risk for what we call heat stroke. Heat stroke develops when someone reaches an internal body temperature of 104 or higher. That's when there's likely going to be increased dizziness. A person may even pass out. What we have to really be worried about is end organ damage. As the body continues to heat up, various organ systems start to shut down, and that's why the body ends up protecting itself by passing out. Heart rate will sometimes come down. You will actually see them no longer sweating because the body has shifted into a very protective mode in trying to bring that temperature down. And that's truly an emergency.
What are some tips to prevent kids from going into heat exhaustion or heat stroke, certainly?
Monitor how much water they're drinking. If we wait until a child is thirsty, that's already a sign of mild dehydration. Thirst is a sign of mild dehydration. It's just not a signal that they need to drink. We want to capture them well before that happens. So not only paying attention to how much they're drinking, but making sure that they're getting over half their body weight in water in terms of ounces. We prefer water. A lot of times families feel like they need to give them these electrolyte beverages. Not necessarily, unless they are physically active. They're playing soccer, football, etc., and they're actually losing salts as they are outdoors.
Great advice there. Dr. Hancock, stay cool. Thank you very much, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.